Hey guys, Loot Wizard here with another video on Gems of War, and in this one I want to talk a little bit about the new faction weapon. So we have a new faction out, and if you go to the shop you will see the new faction weapon here. It does cost about 400 gems. Now, is it worth the 400 gems? I really don't think so. I haven't really used the weapon much, but just from looking at it, it deals 26 splash damage to an enemy, and then if there's a storm it deals double. Now early on in the game it might be a decent weapon, but I think for 400 gems you can get a much better weapon, like the Doom weapons that come out with the Doom event. So I don't really think it's worth the 400 gems. You can do without it. Like I said, it's 26 splash damage really isn't that much, and you have to use another troop that's going to create a storm in order for it to double that damage. And you could do... I know when Furnace starts a storm, there are certain troops that do have the storm mechanic, like they just came out with this new troop, which can start with full mana, and when you cast it, it conjures an ice storm, which is a blue mana storm. So with a troop like this, you could potentially do double damage, but that storm has to be active in order for that double damage to happen. And Furnace does have a storm mechanic, but it's only when an enemy dies. And I know that there's quite a few troops here that do involve storms. Like this is a mythic troop here, and this troop actually creates an ice storm at the start of every turn. So if you do combine it with a troop like this, where there's always going to be an ice, or always going to be a storm going every single turn, then you're always guaranteed to do that double damage. But again, I really think that there are better weapons to get for 400 gems, even faction weapons, because there's two faction weapons that steal life, and there is I wish there was an easy way to do a search for all the faction weapons, but I don't think there is. So I'll have to do a comparison video at another time between the different faction weapons and which ones I think are the best, which ones I think are worse. But for now, let me do a search here real quick for the weapon so we can take a look at its upgrades. Stoneflight is what it's called. Upgrade. And I really don't think there's any great things here to upgrade either. Nothing game-changing. The last three are always the best ones. But it says here, gives a random ally 2 mana, deals 3 splash damage to a random enemy, and then gain 2 to a random skill. So in order for this to do anything really significantly, you're going to have to be casting it a lot. So yeah, I don't think it's really worth the 400 gems. Like I said, I think there's other faction weapons that are better. You got the 2 life-stealing ones. One's called Secrets of the Crypt. I forget what the other one's called. And then we also have Guardian Crown, which doesn't really do damage, but it's a really good, like, tanky weapon. And yeah, there's a couple of faction weapons, like Jar of Eyes. Just remember that one. That one I think is definitely worth the 400 gems over this one for sure. So yeah, that's up to you guys. You know, if you got the gems to spare and you're just collecting the weapons, that's what I'm kind of doing at this point, is I just get every weapon that comes out pretty much. But if you're still low on gems, I would say wait, get a better weapon than this. Alright, well, that's my opinion on the new weapon, guys. Thanks for listening as always, and later.